Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode or another session here at the Green Fingers Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, every week, on Wednesdays, we have a session where we talk about different kinds of animals found here, or we have here within in Nigeria, here in the Green Fingers Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, the Green Fingers Wildlife Sanctuary is a place where it's a safe haven for animals that have been rescued from the wildlife trade or from hunters, poachers, people who peddle bushmeat, and these animals have been rescued and have been given a place to call home, especially when these animals can't go back into the wild because of one thing or the other. Some of these animals may find permanent homes here, while some have no other choice but to go back into the wild. So you will hear a lot of sounds because we are surrounded by quite a few species. We have about 50 different species within the sanctuary at the moment. And every week we highlight one of these species and their importance. And we'll talk about how these species contribute to the ecosystem here in Nigeria, their importance, the threats that also face them, and what we can actually do as individuals to support and to promote conservation of these species. Well, today we're looking at a very, very interesting animal. We saw this animal last week while I was talking with another one. While I was talking about another one. And right now they have moved to another side, but hopefully they'll come back before the end. But if not, we'll have the opportunity to um, shortly talk about no other animal but the Cusimanse, or the common Cusimanse, also known as Crossacus species, Crossacus obscurus. So that is it. It's also known as the long-nosed Cusimanse, or simply the Cusimanse. Now, it is a type of a common animal we know because they belong to a family of Herpesicidae. The common name we know them is mongoose. It's a kind of mongoose. Now, the Cusimanse has a long snout, it has short legs, long claws, small ears, dark colored eyes, and it basically, like I said, has an elongated nose. And adults are just about 33 centimeters in length and weigh about 1 kilogram. Now, these are very social animals. The mongoose are very social animals. And if you see how they behave, which I'm going to show you in a moment, how they behave, they live together in groups. And these groups consist of about 10 to 20 individuals. And within the groups, they have a kind of hierarchical structure. Now, they are very, very good climbers. They are very good climbers, and they do that all over. And that's why we've created a space like this for them where they can exercise. And also, despite the fact that they're good climbers, they restrict most of the activities to the ground, and they are very, very good diggers. They forage for insects, so they dig up quite a lot of earth to do that. So they love the ground also. So they find shelter. Normally live in the wild. They live in shelters from tree hollows to termite mounds or even other animal burrows. That's basically where they live, and they definitely don't occupy a permanent dense site. So as they give birth, they are able to transport their young ones from one place to another. If you look closely now, you will see one of them just there in that corner there. Yep, that's him just passing by there. But hopefully we're going to still see them. So here in Africa, or here in Nigeria, they're found in different West African countries. You find them in Ghana, Ivory Coast, in Benin, in Liberia, in Sierra Leone. That's where you basically find them. But because of the pet trade, they have basically now been exported to different countries because of the pet trade. So they're a bit different from the common mongoose. They're a bit different from the common mongoose because of the choice of their habitat, because they live in forested areas, while you find mongoose living in savanna region. Now, mongoose prefer open grassland. Sorry, we have a very noisy fella here who's just trying to get the attention he wants to get. So Kusumansi, they are active foragers. They're excellent diggers. I said initially, they are also they're carnivorous animals. So their diet is strictly most of the time strictly carnivore, and they feed on insects, larvae, freshwater crabs, even small reptiles make up part of their diet. They also would consume sometimes fruits and berries if if this happens to if they come across these if they come across it. Now they reach sexual maturity at about 9 months to about a year. That's where they reach sexual maturity, and when a female is pregnant, her gestation period is about 8 weeks, and she basically gives birth to about between 2 to 4 babies at once. Now, like I said, they have been exported for a lot for the pet trade, and now that's why they can be found in different parts of the world. So because they are trained, they can easily be trained, and they have a very good social nature. They are able to bond easily with people. All right, but they don't interact with other pets. So they are not supposed to be pets. They are wild animals, and we do not encourage people keeping these kinds of animals as pets because they shouldn't be kept as pets. Now, the common Kusiman is listed as it's not listed as threatened, so it's not a threatened species. Neither is it an endangered species. Because, however, we do not have a record of their population, and here in Nigeria, it's a problem. We do not have a record of their population, so it's actually listed as least concern, but we don't have a record of their current population. But it's still considered not to be, their numbers are still considered not to be at risk. Now, it's important for us to understand that all these animals play a role in the ecosystem, and they have their role in the ecosystem must be protected at all costs, so that we can actually, generations to come will actually be able to see these animals, learn from them, and these animals will always be there to fulfill their purpose within the ecosystem. Now, from the here in Nigeria, there's a lot of things that are affecting these animals. For example, habitat loss is affecting them. They're being captured and basically also being killed for food, which also is another problem here in Nigeria, and that's why their numbers, even in Nigeria, cannot necessarily be accounted for because they are rapidly depleting at an alarming rate. And it's important that the more we share these videos, the more we talk about these things, the more we let other people know that these kind of species do exist and they are they are highly important in the ecosystem. Then we can actually be one step closer to ensuring that they are sustained. That is the Kusimanse there. And last week we didn't get to see this little guy here. We saw him, but he was tight, he was a bit rolled up, but that's him. So he shares an enclosure with the Kusimanse, but apparently the Kusimanse invade his own enclosure, but we've seen that they are able to really cohabit properly. Like I said, the Kusimanse are quite social animals, and there actually have been evidence where you get to see the both of them playing, just like friends. So you get to see them playing. But yeah, so that's about the Kusimanse. That's what we have for you today. And like we said, most of this work here is actually being supported by people like you. We doing these videos, seeing these animals. We hope that you guys are able to support using the link below in the description. Below, you can support our work here in Nigeria in rescuing these animals and ensuring they are well catered for. One of these Christmas has been here for over a year, and while others have been here um, a bit shorter than that. So we do hope that we are able to continue our work, and we can only do that with your support. Thank you once again for tuning in today to this short Kusimanse, and we definitely hope to see you same time again next week with a different wildlife species, and we'll see you there. Thank you very much.